Hello and welcome to Social Media Weekly, episode 7 August 2018. Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Virtual Peddlers Marketing, the digital marketing agency that helps small businesses go digital.
Yay, he got
My
the
name
bit
is
right.
Sean,
I'm JK.
I'm Wei-Han.
Faustina here.
and this week we got quite a bit of a mixed bag of news. We'll talk a little bit about WhatsApp with ads coming to WhatsApp. WhatsApp brings video calling for up to 4 people.
Yay.
Apple is now worth $1 trillion.
Wow.
Should you be considering a micro-influencer for your brand? It's a question for your thought. Following decline in the feed reach for pages, Facebook starts a redesigning project. What does it mean for us? Facebook wants Messenger to be the chat app you can also make payments with. So back to our stories. So the first one is that yes, ads are coming to WhatsApp statuses. WhatsApp in general. So I think it was a few weeks ago that we talked about WhatsApp being the only platform in Facebook that hasn't been monetized because it cannot be monetized. The reason why it cannot be monetized is because when Facebook bought over WhatsApp from the original owners, they actually put this end-to-end encryption thing, which disables any form of tracking. So Facebook cannot track and cannot find out who are these people talking to, what they're talking about, because all the packets that travel from one phone to another gets encrypted on the air, and then when it reaches the recipient, then it gets decrypted. So Telegram is like that, Signal is like that. So because of that, Facebook does not know who talks to what and what is it about, what conversation happened on WhatsApp. So this is about to change because WhatsApp is bringing ads in.
So I want to talk to the senator that asked about the WhatsApp.
Yes.
Yes, you will get Black Panther.
This one you will get Black Panther ads.
You will get, yep. So yeah, it's and if we think that there is an ounce of ethics in Facebook for keeping even one corner of Facebook unmonetized, that is all about to change. And someone just put a huge
Smiley. Like, what are you clowns doing? Like, seriously, what are you clowns doing?
well, these two guys are messing around with
Our
the
transcript. Alright, what are you clowns doing?
Okay, so the question here, right?
Right.
WhatsApp with ads.
Yes.
What do you guys think? Will you still use WhatsApp?
I'm used to it already, so I probably don't mind lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I
like,
mean, the ads will be very annoying.
but you get used to it. Like
Yeah.
YouTube, when they first announced, also everyone's like, no, but people still watch it. So,
It's the same thing lah, I guess.
So-
It will come sooner or later, nothing comes
Okay.
free.
yeah.
I will try to go somewhere else.
Where?
Well, there's Telegram, there's Signal, there's ICQ.
But where is
I don't
the
even know what
community using
signal.
currently?
That's the question, right? So,
You're still caught.
which is good as well because those who are not on, let's say, Telegram or Signal will not get to contact me, which is fine because I don't like to talk to people anyway.
But what if your friends are all on WhatsApp? Like, nobody uses Telegram.
Then they can either call me
Or send
or
post
Twitter
Manju.
DM me.
Reply letter.
Sean, I've not seen you.
Yamcha question mark.
1 month later.
No, then 3 days later, I get it and I call that person. Dude, that was 3 days ago.
Oh, it's already over already Yamcha 3 times already. You missed 3 seasons.
You missed 3 Yamsa sessions.
By the way, got typo ah. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Like,
So,
yeah, I mean,
okay.
Yeah, so I would try to use a different chat app because, say for example, for me, I can't do anything about Facebook because Facebook is the biggest social media platform. It's the only social media platform with that capacity and that power. Instagram is the same. But there are so many chat apps in the market today, and a lot of chat apps are actually so much more powerful and so much more capable than WhatsApp. The only reason why we are using WhatsApp is because our friends are using WhatsApp, and we have been using it because it was one of the first ones that we downloaded.
in Asia.
Everybody downloaded at the same time,
Exactly.
and we never bothered to move. But when Facebook starts to monetize our chatting, to me that crosses the line, because in order for them to be able to monetize us in a chat app, they have to have some form of tracking.
Correct.
And when they have tracking, that means this end-to-end encryption thing is no longer fully end-to-end. So now I kind of understand now that why the founders of WhatsApp left Facebook. Because recently when Facebook has this issue with Cambridge Analytica, just in the beginning of it, the two founders of WhatsApp immediately left
Yeah.
Facebook. So there was probably some underlying cause and some back end thing that was going on, but they cannot say anything about it.
Correct.
So for them to just leave like that, it was a huge call. So if the people of WhatsApp believe that chats should be private, if they were to leave the company that they built, then it's really, really severe.
A huge thing lah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
It's a huge
I wonder
thing.
how this ad's gonna pop up lah. They're not gonna like talk halfway then 3, 2, 1. They're not gonna do that.
That would be
Imagine
so
if you're
annoying.
chatting- Imagine if you're chatting and halfway around, oh, by the way, you want to buy this, blinking.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
because your ads appearing in 3. No.
If it's like that, I'm like, bye.
I'm thinking it'll probably be like in the bottom bar, you know, you
Yeah.
get, it's like one of those
Like
banner
those Google
stuff.
ads,
Yeah.
like,
Bottom banner, top
They
banner,
look like they
like those free games.
Yeah, those that this
Yeah.
bottom bar.
the bottom here only.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
small.
Yeah.
Good
Um,
lah.
Sometimes you
Oh, so big
accidentally
for
click
what?
on it.
Yeah.
I accidentally.
I always
click on it.
accidentally video call someone, but I don't intentionally do it because, like, you know, the notification comes. I want to swipe it away, but then it goes away before I type the thing and I call.
I see how lah.
So it is annoying. Speaking of
Alright.
video calling,
So WhatsApp also brings video calling up to 4 people, including the caller.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 of us can video call now. So anyways,
Yeah.
this isn't anything new, but it's for the biggest chat app in the world right now because we don't have to leave WhatsApp to make group video calls anymore. That is before when we write about the ads are coming to WhatsApp status, by the way.
yeah.
So,
I do
so
the
what are your thoughts about having video calls up to 4 people? You can 4P now.
What?
Have we? Have
Oh,
any
yeah.
have any of you actually like do video calls with a bunch of friends and?
I don't have the video call habit lah. I tried before,
Yeah.
but it's awkward for me. But maybe it's just I'm not used to it.
I think the last I used WhatsApp video call was like a year ago.
No, but not WhatsApp video call. Any
Oh.
forms of video
Video
calls.
calls.
Oh, not really,
Group
no.
video call.
Not really. Unless it was like I want to have a discussion about an assignment last time, then yeah. But after that, no.
Because you see, if you watch these teen
Yes.
teen
Yeah.
flicks and teen movies, right? They always
They
have a
always video
scene
call.
where they use it. They will just play. They will just turn on the video
Video,
call. They
and
put
they
the
just
phone
put
somewhere and
the-
they do their own stuff, and everybody will chat
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, actually, this is what happening in the Malaysia
yeah,
generation.
it's
also.
like hanging out virtually. So
But-
I think this is a younger generation.
But you text
Things are
every.
too-
But you text every day. Isn't that still like?
Texting is different.
Texting-
It's less.
You
It's
don't
less
see
personal.
the skin, you know.
You don't
get
see the
sign.
skin.
Text you have to put in effort and time to really like type things and
Now-
send. Now it's just like talk
Yeah.
naturally.
It's like, oh my god, you're a bitch.
So yeah, actually, some of that, even for the point of Malaysian primary school kids, they are actually doing that already.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just put there and then like they just talk rubbish.
Yeah, they it's just a normal hanging out in a mama or something. You know, you
This
just
just
talk
show
off.
how much I hang out with kids now.
No, it's not about you hanging out with
Yeah.
kids, but it's that you are past the generation.
Step.
But that said, I spoke to a few of my friends. They say that with WhatsApp group video calling, right, they can actually call at work. They can actually call a few of their teammates, team members, colleagues, and just do a call
Yeah.
when they're driving or when they are remotely. So they don't have to leave WhatsApp where they always do their chat. They don't have to leave there to go somewhere else to do the call, like Skype or
Yeah. They
or-
make it
or
centralized lah.
whatever, like Facebook Messenger or whatever. But they can do everything from inside. I think that matters a lot because
But unlike for us, we don't use WhatsApp for work.
yeah, we don't use WhatsApp for work. We use Discord and we used to use Slack. So Discord doesn't have this thing. So
Discord has voice call.
yeah, it's got voice. It's a call.
It's a call without image.
But let's say if we were to do videos, we will use Google Hangout anyway. So but let's just say if Discord were to have something like this, we wouldn't even need to leave it and go to Google Hangout. So I guess that is the only perk lah.
That's how
But either way,
technology trap
because-
you into one
yeah.
app.
They try
Yeah.
to do all the time. They don't want you to leave the app. So it's
But
A lot of
yeah,
apps
it's
are trying
like-
to do what?
yeah, they give you everything.
I mean, we don't have the habit of video calling, so I'm like, okay, I don't think I will use this.
Not yet lah, but I think it's time for us to pick up also because it actually saves a lot of time
Yeah, it does.
to do things.
It does. It does save a lot of time. It's more efficient. I'm not saying it's an age thing. The
It's just a
Chinese,
habit.
the Hongkies,
Yeah.
the Taiwanese,
They're all
they are all video calling all the time. The Nepalese video call all the time. When I go hiking in Nepal, everybody is video calling everybody.
worse than Napoleons.
Yeah,
Guys,
not Nepalese.
why?
Not
Ah, sorry,
Nepalese.
sorry, Napoleons, Napolis. Wrong country.
It just sounded like he just called on Napoleon.
Napoleon. Yeah.
Oops. Okay, what happened to Apple?
I need a confetti. Apple is now worth 1 trillion.
So they got their 1 minute.
So, in the US history, no company has ever hit 1 trillion net worth with a strong earning on Q3 for
Third quarter.
for 2018. Apple is the first US-based trillion-dollar company on the market with stock cross
$207.05 per share.
Thank you. on the 2nd of August. Let's talk about a net worth milestone achieved. Congratulations.
Well done, Apple. Well done.
Thank you for giving us realization on how peanuts our net worth is.
That's all I can say.
Suddenly gonna burn.
Who wrote this? Why are we burning ourselves?
Because it's JK.
Well,
Continue.
Well, it's easy to reach 1 trillion.
Isn't
Really? Isn't
Hey, dude, no.
easy to reach 1 trillion. Sustaining it will be the next goal. We talk about the comparison with few big tech firms like Amazon, Google and Microsoft. Apple is the only one without a clear and ambitious roadmap for their products and services in the coming years. There have also been other trillion-dollar companies who have quickly lost their position and never regaining them again.
That's sad.
So we did talk about this before, right? I think it was just
Yeah.
last week we were just
Yeah, we
going
were
that
talking
way.
about like Facebook
Yeah.
and Twitter.
So we were thinking if between Apple and Amazon, who will reach the 1 trillion first?
Oh, sorry, we were talking about buffet.
Warren Buffett.
you can earn buffet.
And now that Apple is the first one who have to reach 1 trillion, yeah, good on them.
Yeah. I mean, did any of you see it coming? Like Apple to reach 1 trillion
Actually, I
first?
expected them to lose the sales first. Mana tahu.
They Apple cannot. Well, they haven't had a loss in sales in a very long time. It has always been gaining.
Yeah.
Their sales has always been gaining. So Apple has this business model, right? Because Apple sells premium products, expensive products,
Yeah.
right? So their growth previously has always been growing in terms of gaining more market share, more user, more market share. So now that we have reached a maturity where people who have already chosen a smartphone would have already gone to either an Apple or an Android. There are no more BlackBerry operating systems, no more Nokia operating systems, Windows operating systems, they're all gone. So there's only 2 operating systems in mobile in the world right now, right? So the only thing Apple can do is gain more of the Android's pie, right? And Android has one thing, has another area to grow that Apple does not want to be in, which is the emerging market. Emerging market being India and Africa and rural parts of China. So because Apple wants to position themselves as expensive and premium, they cannot afford to come up with an entry-level phone that can compete with Android.
Yeah.
Because even their iPhone SE is expensive. So if that's the case, right? No, it's I don't call it stubborn. It is a business decision. It is a business decision that makes sense, right? But while they are doing that, they need to find some other area that they have huge potential growth. Because if they are just crawling up like that, bit by bit, while the other companies are, planning out huge roadmap to leapfrog ahead of them, Apple's 1 trillion mark may be
Temporary?
not temporary, but it's like while they are the first to reach there, everybody else will jump way ahead of them in maybe the next 6 months or 1 year. So they need a plan. They need a plan to expand, not just marginally just growing slowly. They need to do well. So
Catching
one of the way for them to actually make extra money was their plan to come up with iPhone X, iPhone 10. Because the iPhone 10 is the most expensive iPhone, that they know that the number of phones they sell per year is about there only. So the only way for them to make more money is to make more margin per phone. So the iPhone 10 is able to make them do that. Another way is for them to increase the sales of accessories. The lightning ports, all the small little stuff that they sell at 5 times the market price because they carry a premium. And by doing that, they also kind of put in a system that detects if the lightning cables are not using their original ones and don't allow certain functions in it. So by doing that, they push people to buy the original stuff. So that is how they've been making money. But all this is all like, they're already reaching a point where this is the maximum they can do. But they're just grabbing the smaller stuff. Yeah, just a little bit. So they need to develop one corner, which they have an entire 100 meter for them to sprint. If not, whatever they're doing now is just very little.
Stagnant growth.
Yeah, it's very, very slow growth.
Well, we're earning 1 trillion. Why not?
But that said, I don't think Apple will lose the trillion because Apple has always been a company that has been growing and never in decline.
Maybe it will just be stagnant for a while.
It may stagnate, it may be very slow, it may be hovering just above trillion for a very long time until some other visionary comes along and revamps the entire company and just turns it into something else.
Well, we shall see.
Alright, time for an advertisement. They tell you that selling on Lazada is as easy as ABC, but they didn't say how complicated it becomes once you start selling it. There are a lot of complicated algorithms and games to play in order to just be seen by potential buyers on this massive marketplace. At Virtual Peddlers, we experiment on ourselves and learn firsthand how it's done before we help our clients out. VP Commerce is an experimental platform where we sell products on Lazada and learn the game at the same time. Search for VP Commerce at Lazada and get a 10% discount on all our products today! Offer valid till 15 August. Batteries sold separately.
Alright.
Oh, my turn.
Yes, of course.
No, it's not.
So, should you consider micro-influencers for your brand? So first of all, what do you guys understand from the influencer role?
I influence you, lo.
Elaborate
Buy
lah.
my product, buy.
What lah these two clowns? Aduh, I mean, Any more words?
Don't know how to say leh.
What are you?
Like,
just
I can
like-
make you do things without me telling you to do it.
Traditionally lah, how I understand this is that it's just a person who is maybe a public figure, who has a blog, who has a vlog, who talks about stuff, and a lot of people following them. And when they wear certain clothes and they use certain accessories,
People want
people will ask, "Hey, what is this? It looks cool. Where did you get it from?" And then brands would be like, "Okay, instead of waiting for people to do that, let's put our products
Onto someone.
on the people, so that people will ask these questions and then they will be able to buy from the brands." So that is traditionally how the influencing business started.
I have a very interesting story to tell later.
So basically, to you guys, influencers are like they have very huge following, like millions.
Like celebrities lah. So to say.
Celebrities. Alright. So why don't we look into micro influencers? So micro influencer is any social media user who commands a niche audience in a specific market. So albeit like maybe this person is into cars, maybe this person is into video games, stuff like that. For practical purposes, we define a micro influencer as having between 10k and around 80k
That is not
Instagram
very
followers.
mic-
That's not
That's
micro
very
at all.
micro in my book.
maybe for the worldwide
Compared to
situation
100,000 to 1,000,000 followers.
Yeah, maybe that's one lah.
Yeah. So micro influencers, they basically represent real customers according to the article we read.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot from where. Yeah. And micro influencers also give you a trove of high quality branded content to use in your own marketing campaigns. So, given this context of micro influencer, I believe that micro influencer can be lower following.
The key with previously people use public figures as influencers
Yeah.
because just by investing in one person, they can reach to as many people as possible, right? But these big influencers, like you said, are usually very famous people, actors, singers, and
Britney Spears
And
lah.
Yeah,
like our previous
all
two
this kind of-
episodes, we spoke of the Aiden Yao incident.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Eden Yao is not exactly a real influencer, so we
But
don't want to talk about
Given
it.
the scenario, given the scenario of what he did, I mean, anyone could be doing this right now.
Yeah. So micro influencers are people that are lower down the, if you would say, the ladder, the
I guess they're just like
the
anybody
influence ladder, to an extent where the rest of the world feels more connected to them because they feel that they are more
Yes.
real, more natural, and they have their own niche where they command some form of influence. Like whatever they say, people are listening. People may agree or may not agree, but it doesn't matter. But most important thing is they are creating content that people are consuming.
Yeah, it's like they're bringing back the peer-to-peer
Yeah.
content kind of thing.
So the most crucial thing for brands with micro influencers is they are actually a lot cheaper than the traditional influencers. They're a lot cheaper. They're not as demanding. They are not as atas. They're more willing to be adventurous when it terms of when it comes to how to brand the stuff and things like that. They are a bit more creative as well. So the way they work is better.
Correct.
And but the only downside is that a brand will probably need to manage a bunch of micro influencers instead of just one. So that will be the thing.
Because in terms of micro influencer also, it's the difference between quantity and quality, I would say.
Yeah.
So for instance, because in the end of the day, influencers punya scope it's to influence people through engagement. So imagine if Britney Spears has how many 1 million 1 million punya followers versus some influencer that has 10k followers. Probably this influencer A can speak to that 10K more effectively than Britney Spears speaking to that 1
Yes,
million.
because they are more connected to
Yeah.
them,
Yes, correct.
more personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean if you imagine Britney Spears reply to every single message, I don't
She
think
has
she
no
would have
time,
the time
man.
to reply. 34
She has
hours
no
is just
time
not
for
enough.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of that, the brand engagement quality is
Yeah.
also reduced greatly from there.
I have a very funny story. I think in February, Paypaco suddenly become very famous. Do you know that?
That's right. All of a
Yeah,
sudden-
because of one professor of what I think his name's Alex. I think he's a architect professor in Pratt.
Okay.
So it become very famous. So then after that, Amazon starts selling it, and based on what I see now, it has 234 good reviews.
Wow.
Which is very funny.
This
It's like we
We drink this for every day since we are born. They were like,
suddenly one person in New York say, "Hey, it cured my flu." Then everyone start crazy about
I
it.
mean, it's basically just cough syrup.
With a lot of sugar. A lot of sugar.
A lot of people, you know, everyone of us in Malaysia is like this bunch of jakun.
I mean, we take this
Angmos.
since we were very young. Like, we were like,
I got a question. What do they drink before this happens?
I don't know.
Because they use a lot of Western medication.
Yeah.
They take pills and pills and pills.
And then because of that, the reviews are like, wow, crazy. And I was reading through the reviews, it's damn funny.
Well, what to do? Maybe they haven't reached that world yet, low.
so we come back to this. Like, which of these influencers you feel is best for the company?
I would say if let's just say starting, if you want to reach to more people, knowing your product first, like now you know that this product exists, I think the macro influencer is more relevant.
Macro.
The reach out to more people, macro mass
Like the big
micro and macro, right?
So the bigger
The bigger
influencer.
influencer.
Okay.
So once you really reach, like people already know the existence of your brand, then you start with the micro where it gets more quality engagement.
Recently, I speak to one of the very prominent, cosmetic brand also. They say they are moving out from the influencer market already because they don't see a very huge revenue.
Actually, we can't say that influencers does not work. Maybe the way they apply it
Yeah.
is not proper, because a lot of influencers, when they take a brand, right, the only time they ever use, the only time they're ever seen with that product is when they take one picture,
Yeah.
post it on Instagram, and tell people what is
good
it, how cool it is,
Yeah.
and how to get a discount.
Yeah.
But that's not influencing, that is advertising. Influencing is doing whatever you do with the
Daily.
product that
Associate the
is
product.
given, yes, that is given with them, for them. For example, if you are an influencer for sports shoes, right? For a brand of sports shoes, don't go shopping with their brand of sports shoes, because chances are you become an influencer for sports shoes not because you walk around with the sports shoes, but because
You actually
let's say
do
for example
sports.
you do sports, you run, right?
Yeah.
So actually run with it, actually perform in it, actually
Yeah.
be seen doing something in it, online
We're
and
not
offline.
asking you to shop and run at the same time.
Yeah. Well, so the thing is, I think coming back to this, right? I think the effectiveness of influencers from the brand's perspective is not good. Not because they don't work, but because the people are not managing the
Enough.
influencers properly
correct.
and not obtaining the right KPIs, not
Yeah.
quantifying the
They're
the
just giving them the
goals.
product and now you advertise.
Yeah, exactly. And they assume that these guys know what they're doing, but they don't know what they're doing.
Most of the time, they just take one picture and then bye.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Then they get one free item. For example, if one free item costs you $400, right? You got 10 micro influencers who do
Talking
that
about
for you.
studio.
Yeah, right. You got 10 micro influencers that are doing it for you, and you're barely. So that's already like $3,000, $4,000. You need to sell how many in order to
Get back
to
and stuff
recoup
like
back. So if you don't have the kind of tracking and it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But if brand awareness is what you're looking for, then it's fine. Brand awareness is your goal, then it's fine.
So far, I think the only micro influencer that I noticed in Malaysia, that is doing this engagement really strongly is actually Dennis Yin with the House of Champions. He actually posted on his Insta story almost like every single day.
We were just talking about him this morning.
yeah. so
Rina
that
is also an influencer for
yes.
F45 as well.
Correct,
so
correct.
Um,
So that's how they do it. So
that's how they do it. They do it every day. They don't
But then
Kind of
again,
stuff.
Dennis Yin owns House of
yeah.
Champions.
So that being said, right, it is actually like how much they can relate themselves with the
Yeah.
product and not just like, oh, I'm doing this for the business purposes
Yes,
or what. It's like,
yes.
oh, it relates to the value that I believe in.
Yeah.
The two values should click.
So in that sense, it is about the skill of the influencer. But back to your question, Faustina, I think bigger brands, like multinational brands, like for example, Prada, Gucci and all that, or Apple, they cannot use micro-influencers because there is a certain disconnect that is supposed to be there, because you cannot connect
Yeah.
because it's like it is supposed to be unattainable, because therefore when you attain it, you hope that you reach that level, especially with big brands.
Yeah.
So Bentley and Rolls-Royce and stuff cannot use micro-influencers, but more original brands like Toyota and Honda and all that, those brands work a lot better with micro-influencers. So it really depends on where they are with the, like for example, do you know that Apple, long time ago, Apple actually implemented this marketing strategy using influencers many years ago, before the digital age.
Oh, oops.
So Apple actually positioned, for example, the iPod. When they first launched the iPod, that was like 2000, early 2000s. They positioned the iPod and they position it as an item for young people, right? But it's not that they're not targeting the old people. They are targeting the old people, right? But if they position it as the product, as the cool product for young people, what happens is the old people want to feel young. And in order to feel young, they associate with buying an iPod to feel young. So it's this kind of
Connection.
stuff. It's like the old people cannot reach a younger age because age cannot go backwards, right? But what they can do is they can feel young by buying something that the young people use.
Something like that. Lor.
So that's the the sometimes reachable is good, sometimes unreachable is good.
So it depends on the
It really
business
depends on your
model.
product, who you target, and what message you try to
To deliver.
tell the people. Yeah, deliver to people.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, next up, it's mine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Following decline in feed reach for Facebook pages, Facebook starts a redesigning project. Yep. About time, right? Facebook's feed reach on pages has been on a steep decline since the early parts of this year, when Facebook announced that they will change their algorithm to focus on, air quotes, real user experience.
Okay.
While Facebook tells businesses to increase advertising budget to maintain high visibility with users, it still doesn't seem to work as well as they thought it would. So Facebook is now trying to change the way pages are used and defined by all users. Previously, pages are used as a place for users to find out what's happening with their favorite brands, right? It's literally a social page where you have a new promo going on, you're launching a new product, whatever it is, then people go into the page, look at it, and then they know, because previously pages have always been managed like this: education stuff, information stuff, promos and offers, these kind of things, right? But what Facebook is doing now, which is different, is that they are moving pages into, if we were to say it in a very blunt way, a rip-off of apps like OpenRice, TripAdvisor, Airbnb, because they're going to add things like ratings, reviews, contacts, suggestions. You can make reservations with it. You can book appointments with it. So it literally becomes an Airbnb, OpenRice, or TripAdvisor. If you don't know what OpenRice is, it's actually
Hoi fan.
yeah, it's an Asian version of the Americans' OpenTable, where it's an app where you can actually search for food nearby and you can make reservations for dinner, lunch, and everything as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but Malaysians don't use it a lot. But if you go to Hong Kong, Taiwan, China, they use OpenRice a lot. TripAdvisor, we all know.
Mm-hmm.
So and there are a lot of ratings and reviews going on there as well. So Facebook is turning pages, the business pages, from a social platform into an information
Center.
collection, or social. How would I say it? It's like a place where people review stuff.
Like Lazada.
Like Lazada. They review, they rate, and there's also one section with suggestions. Like for example, if you want to buy blinds, you go to our client's blind company, and suggestions are other blind companies,
Yeah.
which to me is stupid.
Why would they? Okay.
Yeah, but let's say if there is a suggestion, right? What do you think Facebook will suggest? Besides,
I thought it's a client to suggest.
no, Facebook controls what's suggested.
Yeah.
Maybe the suggestion, like let's say if it's a blinds company, so they suggest their competitors.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The competitors.
Yeah.
So the other blind
Yeah,
companies.
but it is to like, so maybe for as a consumer, let's say if we were to shop, right? Let's say we want to get one earphone, so we will survey and look into other brands.
Yes. So that's
to-
what I'm saying.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
good.
Cross marketing like that lah.
It's good for consumers, but the problem here is not about consumers. The problem here is with businesses,
Yeah.
because since early this year, right, businesses have been reporting seeing at least 50% decline
Yeah.
in reach in their pages, right? So Facebook now is trying to say, okay, let me add some functions into your pages so we add more value for you. And then they go on to put a suggested section
Wouldn't
where
that-
they also
yeah.
put a bunch of pages from your competitors. That doesn't make sense.
That means they're driving the traffic away from your business page.
It's okay. You can see it both ways. Like either they drive in the business or drive out.
Or
the
drive
business,
out the business.
Depending on how
because
good the product
you can
is.
either be the one that people is using and they leave because of suggested competitors, or you can be the suggested competitor where people
Correct.
go to because they see your competitor.
So in the end of the day, what keeps the client is your product, how good your service is. It's
And whether the client is loyal to your brand, to your services and everything.
loyal. Let's see, loyal. I doubt customers are lawyers nowadays.
Well, some are still loyal.
Very minor.
Yeah, some are still loyal. The older ones are loyal. The young ones are not loyal anymore.
The young one will just skip around.
Well, young consumers are very objective. They buy what makes sense to them
And cheap.
and cheap.
Oh well. So next on, Facebook wants Messenger to be the chat app you can also make payments with. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. Anyway, so Facebook was a death stare. Anyway, Facebook wants to incorporate your banking info into Messenger and has approached companies like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup and US Bancorp over the past years. So the purpose is to improve customer service such as customer chat and account management. Account linking enables people to receive real-time updates in Facebook Messenger, where people can keep track of their transaction data like account balances, receipts, and shipping updates. The idea is that messaging with a bank can be better than waiting on hold over the phone, and it's completely opt-in. So, however being said, due to the recent Facebook scandal of Cambridge Analytica, JP Morgan still have concerns over this issue and will have to say hello virtual peddler please, okay thank you, and no for now to protect the customers database of the bank industry. Oh, how considerate. If the scandal did not happen, will things work out differently? What do you
Finally, he got his JP Morgan in.
I don't trust Facebook anymore.
think?
Yeah.
To me, I think any kind of information that goes through Facebook, they are
Bye
looking at it.
bye.
And it's more crucial with banking info.
Because it's more
It's more
PS.
sensitive, right? This kind of thing. So,
So scary.
I don't know. I mean, Facebook, to me right now, Facebook has to go the extra mile to prove to me, and I don't speak just for myself. I think I speak for a lot of
People.
a lot of the world's population, that Facebook has to go the extra mile than just saying I'm sorry to prove to us that they really mean it.
I think it's quite hard to regain this kind of confidence back already because they have already,
Yeah.
done the unethical part.
It's like, yeah, super duper damage.
So yeah, maybe who's the next Facebook alike guy? Don't know.
No
don't
idea.
Don't have yet lah.
No, not yet.
For whoever that's
Not yet.
a like guy, this is your chance lah. Actually.
Yeah. If there was another guy that will take over social
Snapchat.
media, Snapchat is there but not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Snapchat has not matured because it works now with the younger generation. So it needs to the mass need to adopt it.
I see. Imagine Facebook know what you're talking about, what you're interested in, and your worth, like, oh my god, you're
How much money you
Tencent,
have,
are.
how much money you have, where you're investing in,
Yeah,
what
right.
stocks you put your money in, all that kind of stuff.
The finance.
That is scary as hell.
I mean, even personally, I don't even use e-wallet because I don't trust e-wallet. Like I still prefer like physical cash and all.
Okay, I use e-wallet.
Me too.
Yeah.
Later Facebook gonna come out with the now very famous DNA test one